Greetings, greetings, greetings. Give thanks and praise to the mystic laws of the universe and its protective functions and forces in nature that guide our thoughts and our path in all ways that are lawful, correct, and positive. We do give thanks and praise. Yeah, what's the systemic political oppression of colonization. Um, I'll share some basic information as usual. Now, what's that? Massachusetts criminal enterprise. Remember, we are comedians, so we're going to style up with things. That thing and I'll go up on the court this way. This is just our public court. So our public court are going to be a little bit more animated. Yeah, for comedic purposes, put it that way. Now, again, we say Massachusetts criminal enterprise. Commonwealth versus Campbell, Joel-Jaguar. Nantucket District Court, number 088, Clerk-Magistrate. Previously Donald P. Hart, I don't know who his successor will be. And Judge, neutral fact finder, James M. Sullivan. Now again, we say the systemic controversy in dispute, traffic violations and offenses. Now we have case name Joel-Jaguar Campbell versus Nantucket Police Department. The case itself, case number is 2588 CR, meaning criminal, 000045. And then we have the docket number, which is 2488 AC, which means Associated Civil Court, 000436. I man go on to say the claimant Joel-Jaguar Campbell on behalf of the legal person, all capital, Joel Campbell, as surety. We're being specific here because we know they can only interact or interface with a piece of paper, and the paper is separate and distinct from the man. However, because that paper is a surety, it means there is a suretyship agreement in place somewhere. You may be unaware of it, but the surety can't exist without a suretyship agreement. Now, within that suretyship agreement, you have what is known as a principal to that surety. Now, you are that principal. You understand? You're not the surety itself, you're the principal that directs the surety. Only the living man can do that. However, the administrative system will administer you as if you are that surety, if you're unaware. So again, the claimant, Joel-Jaguar Campbell, on behalf of the legal person, Joel Campbell as surety, versus the respondents, Farrell Duce, number 2923, and Nantucket Police Department, on behalf of the legal person, the Commonwealth. Fiction can only interact and interface with fiction, so even when you say your name is in upper and lower case, it still represents the fictional entity. Always, because it's three names, first, middle, and last. That's a fictional entity. When you have ascend from that, it has a unknown state of condition. That's when you rearrange the name. You make it become a fact. This is when you don't have a first, middle, and last name anymore. You have what is known as given name, which would be your first and your middle name. This is why we place a hyphen between those two. Now they become one name. So it's Linton O'Neill, one name. But we like to express it as Linton hyphen O'Neill, full colon, Dallas. Now we are express yourself as the living soul, manifest as man, not the legal person. Now, that is honorable clarification. We go on into the document and say particulars. Number 1, the respondent Farrell Duce. Number 923 and the Nantucket Police Department on 15 November 2024, which would be 11/15/2024, initiated a dispute with the accused claimant Joel-Jaguar Campbell by way of an unlawful traffic stop in the place of his domicile, inside his home to be exact. Respondent Farrell Duce, number 923, then issued an unsigned Massachusetts Uniform Citation number 009073 AD to Joel-Jaguar Campbell. We'll just say to Joel for the following false criminal accusation. Charges 1, 9/10/A-2, misdemeanor, 100 days or less incarceration for unlicensed operation of motor vehicle, and then have whatever section there. The next charge is 100 days misdemeanor or less incarceration, registration, suspended, OP, motor vehicle with whatever. 3 charges. The third charge, misdemeanor, more than 100 days uninsured motor vehicle. Now, we'll go on to say, number 2, the Nantucket Clerk-Magistrate, Donald P. Hart, formally, on 26th of November 2024, which would be 9/26/2024, issued the first notice of magistrates on complaint. Notice of magistrates, it should be hearing. Notice of magistrates hearing on complaint. On complaint. I think that's what it is. I have to check the document and make sure I'm precise, but that's what it should say. Anyway, again, I should say, let me see what I have here, sir. It starts with the citation from Farrell Duce. Number 2, Donald P. Hart issued a notice of magistrate's hearing on complaint application. Yes, remember that. And this was in November 26, 2024. This is when them have the case name as Nantucket Police Department versus Joel Campbell. This now have nothing to do with the Commonwealth versus Joel Campbell. So two things are going on. We have a criminal complaint are going on and them escalated to a civil, because the docket has a associated civil and the case number is a criminal. The civil are deal with the money where them are try flees from the surety account. And the criminal is where them bring a false claim and malicious prosecution in order to gain some kind of conviction from you in order to validate whatever illegal act them perpetrate. Now, the very same case docket number as I read before. Now we have to say the incident report number is 23-013149. Now this information is what I get from them docket area, them docket file. See, this are them official information what I use to prosecute Joel-Jaguar. Now, the Nantucket Clerk-Magistrate Donald P. Hart created the controversy between the two parties, Claimant Joel-Jaguar Campbell and Respondent Farrell Duce, number 923, Nantucket Police Department, by ignoring the trespass, cease and desist counterclaim affidavit issued on the 6th of January 2025. That would be 1/6/2025. The accused Claimant Joel-Jaguar on the 6th of January 2025 filed a trespass, cease and desist counterclaim affidavit upon the court record in response to the notice of magistrate's hearing on complaint application. I forgot to put in the hearing here. I'm quite sure that's where it said. And the exhibit would be Exhibit C. Now, I wonder if I missed some things here. When we say the first notice of magistrate hearing on application, we have the document, the presentment that we get from Donald P. Hart, the court clerk magistrate, and that presentment would be Exhibit B. Now, the citation that Farrell Duce issued, that would be the initiating instrument or the initiating document, and that would be Exhibit A. And we're going to see the pattern here, where them make a presentment and them ignore the facts that you respond or you refute their presentment, them ignore that. So them give you one notice, then two notice, then give you a summons and railroad you. When you see their docket, all you see is their information, what they have done, whether they have done it or not. But you see no information about Joel-Jaguar here on their docket. Why is that? And we have documents were filed upon the court, but this is the strategy these criminals in office use and say it's normal. This is when them go outside of the constitutional authority, create them own thing and induce you by fraud. We call it inducement by fraud to participate in their commercial fraudulent activity, what they call court process. This is why Joel-Jaguar said not choose to participate. He not consent. And in order for the court to move the two parties of a consent, and there is nowhere in the court document where Joel-Jaguar has consent. This is why I tell you say it's public slavery. This is called systemic. Again, no one go too far outside of myself, you know. This is what we said them called systemic. I add political, because it's all political, oppression by way of the colonization where we are experienced, which is still extant. Else Joel-Jaguar would not go in a court where white-faced police thinks that she a god and can create all this dispute, take it to our police department, but take it to the court clerk, and then now create a controversy. Now, when you look on the document, there is nowhere Farrell Duce is mentioned on that docket. Why is that? Let's find out. So again, we talk about Exhibit C, filed the 6th of January 2025 by Claimant, Joel. Number 4, Nantucket Clerk-Magistrate Donald P. Hart on the 9th of January 2025, meaning 1/9/2025, issued a second notice of magistrate hearing on complaint application. This is where the court docket starts. So it issued in January 09, 2025. See? And we have it as Exhibit D, where we can present all of this information. And the court did start on 11 a.m. Now we'll go on to say the Nantucket Clerk-Magistrate Donald P. Hart has made a presumption that Claimant Joel-Jaguar is an alien within his ancestral homeland of America by way of the nation state of Jamaica birth certificate citizenship. The presumption is that the claimant, Joel-Jaguar, is a Jamaican citizen national with obligation to its political citizenry, which would grant subject matter jurisdiction to the United States and the Nantucket Clerk-Magistrate Donald P. Hart. However, that presumption is refuted and rebutted by the Jamaican Citizenship Renunciation Regulation 10, Exhibit E. So Joel can present these things. Number 6, the Nantucket Clerk-Magistrate Donald P. Hart on the 24th of March 2025, which would be the 3rd, 3/24, 2025, issued a summons to defendant for arraignment, which is the malicious prosecution of the legal person, i.e., the Joel, the all capital Joel Campbell, birth registration form, bond paper, operating as the surety, to gain access to the account funds by the manufactured consent of said accused claimant, Joel-Jaguar. And this would be Exhibit F, where we are looking on the summons where them present. Now, number 7, we'll go on to say the Nantucket Clerk-Magistrate Donald P. Hart asserted that the claimant has committed a crime and placed an unlawful statement of fact or an unverified or unvalidated statement of fact into evidence upon the court record or docket to initiate the controversy. So Donald P. Hart, as a clerk magistrate or underwrite the bond to make money, he might do all of these things. Him is the one who appoint the judges, and the judges should be a neutral fact finder, but them come out and make orders and interfere with the witnesses and do all kind of different things because them say them in their own area when there's no such thing. This is why we create our own record. So we're going to use our record where we create and use their records to indict them. That's all we can do. It's easy. Again, the Nantucket Court Magistrate Donald P. Hart decided he has personal jurisdiction without proving such authority by a contractual stipulation. Then Donald P. Hart appoints any neutral fact finder's judge with the unproven jurisdictional authority to administer the biased hearing in favor of the respondent Farrell Duce and the Nantucket Police Department, then the Commonwealth. So this is their blueprint, their strategy. This is what I'm doing. I don't understand why people find issues when we are trying to take our time for sure, sir. We are doing everything proper. However, we are being railroaded. You understand? And this is why, because this case is an international case where you have diversity of citizenship and diversity of jurisdiction. We have to move it from this federal state district court and carry it into the United States federal district court. There's a distinction, my lord. That superior area, that's the area we ought to be, my lord. We're getting there. But we're now going to just make one big leap. We have to take our baby steps, step by step. Now, number 8 says the accused claimant, Joel-Jaguar, has respectfully demanded that Nantucket Clerk-Magistrate Donald P. Hart validate the following. Prove that he has a valid contract. Prove that he has personal jurisdiction over the living man, claimant, Joel-Jaguar. Prove that he, Donald P. Hart, has subject and or subject matter jurisdiction. Prove it by way of the contractual stipulation, not a presumptive accusation. Prove up a case. We now deal with presumption here. You people are in error. Think we're not going to continue the nonsense. Donald P. Hart, I tell you, say, when you retire, your unlawful conduct is recorded and shall be presented for the world and the other authorities. Yeah, to indict you all when you retire. Because you commit crime in office, mobster, you fall guys. We know of you. We know of you. And the moment you not bring hurt and harm to it, we are reciprocate naturally. Number 9 says the accused claimant has respectfully demanded that the Nantucket Clerk-Magistrate Donald P. Hart prove that he is an agent of the government, prove that he has a contract of a valid warrant with a valid supporting affidavit. Them not have none of that. James M. Sullivan and Donald P. Hart just sit down and do them own thing. Else, them would have present these things. Them going to say them of it, but we can't see it. We don't have no copy of it. Yeah, man. Again, proof he has a contract of a valid warrant with a valid supporting affidavit for the claimant, Joel-Jaguar, Campbell's legal person. Okay, now this brethren here, we need him to present the warrant with a supporting affidavit for the claimant, Joel Campbell's legal person, that is, the all capital Joel Campbell birth registration form bond paper operating as a surety. So you have to present a contract, say boy, it stipulates that Joel-Jaguar should bow down and prostrate for Farrell Duce and the Nantucket Police Department and for the Commonwealth by extension. There is no such thing. It's all risk management, literally. Now again, we say the Nantucket Clerk-Magistrate Donald P. Hart has failed to present such presumed contracts. Number 10, Donald P. Hart is to be held liable for this court process as the underwriter of said legal person, i.e., that is the Joel Campbell birth registration form bond paper operating as surety. However, Donald P. Hart has passed off the liability which belongs to him to the Fidelity Bonding Company, which is Massachusetts Business Trust, as their standard operation procedure, being uniform by its international financial organization policies. That are going out there. Now, number 11 says the Nantucket court clerk or Clerk-Magistrate Donald P. Hart or his successors must dismiss this matter with prejudice to the accused claimant, Joel Campbell. Joel Campbell, all I can tell the warrior, say watch you now, after the victorious end, because we can't lose, we not lose, them joker will not be able to put no fear in a man like I. Impossible. Impossible. I mean, it's a man who climb in them grave. In them grave on judgment them. Salute, Sammy. Salute, my Lord. Honor me king. Honor me king. Honor out there. Honor out there. Joel-Jaguar. I don't know what this. Oh, a little free stream. I'm always up in my thing in the man. I say, I'm going to show them this and I go and promote it. Why not? But yeah, the clarity that out there, people, the clarity that. And me and Joel-Jaguar reason where I'm on literally, I said to Joel, say, my Lord, I think just like how me and the other reason, me I say, what them do with the eye, when the eye for do certain things and stay still, the eye continue talking and it create what them call proper joinder. So that's why Donald P. Hart keep on a move this thing. And the moment Joel-Jaguar chose to follow the instructions specifically, that's when, stop sharing, okay. That's when the court stands still right there in March, where Joel-Jaguar invoked the public oath and secure his fundamental rights and freedom, or secure his civil liberties. You have to be specific when my people is on the mainland, when they are in England, or in the Caribbean island, or the Commonwealth area around here, anywhere around here, them call it something else. Them call it fundamental rights and freedom. On the mainland, them call it civil liberties, but the mainland people do not have access to those civil liberties. They can only access civil rights, literally. And they have substituted or traded their civil liberties over there for civil rights being governed by the foreign Congress. This is how direct we are. This is how accurate we are. This is how specific we are. We're not throw shade, we are talk truth. However offensive it may be, we are talk truth. And the difference that. So the item of it, Make sure the item move with clarity, because clarity brings the accuracy. And I'll tell you, sir, on Nantucket Island, them literally do them own thing. And whoever can should bring up here for the docket list what them have. Yeah man, them docket file and the item I gotta see what we are talking about. Whoever can match up the facts Joel-Jaguar, they issued a citation, which is a presentment. Joel-Jaguar would respond to the citation because the citation was followed by a notice of magistrate's hearing, and then a second notice of magistrate hearing. This is what I'm call it. We would call it the non-judicial process, but this is their administrative process. Where the moment them get you for submit to them in any way, whether by way of plea, whether by just admitting to a fraction of anything at all, or whether by not contesting. This is why you can't say no contest, because them going to have it as submission. So you're always innocent until they have to prove you're guilty, which is impossible. Once you don't commit a crime with a valid victim, them can't prove no crime. Number one, this is the wrong venue, Joel-Jaguar. Yeah. And because it's the wrong venue, we don't need for waste no time more than we share information, bring some information to them, and show them where them out of order, show them where them are violate the very rules that are in place, show them where their criminal conduct is, because we can demonstrate fraud by way of Donald P. Hart. That's why I'm in a trouble. Because them orchestrate this thing for remove Joel-Jaguar in March, but they couldn't, because them couldn't get him on record a submit. Why? This time, well, that time in March 24th, 2025, Joel-Jaguar followed the instruction to the T, and he will admit that. And why we know the instruction work, other people get the very same instruction and go outside of those instructions only to be arrested on contempt, talking too much, thinking they know anything at all, contempt, but was released the next day where they apologized to the court and followed the instruction and was okay after that. The only thing is that when them do that, the judge have to stop and ask them what they want. Now, this is when them say, listen, I can't make a decision until I talk to my private counsel, so I need this court to either recess or adjourn until the next day or for an hour or two, and we can take it up again. You have that authority. It's called parties autonomy. I don't know why some of the time we act scared. Well, it's because we don't know a lot of things. So as soon as we get the information and learn and know these things, then our confidence are going to go up. Naturally, for clarity to that. So Joel-Jaguar stay bold and brave out there, stay firm and strong, and watch me now, pay attention. We don't get no support right here from no one. Pay attention, we don't get no view from no one, because they're not interested in a freedom, but make we have some for funky guys over here, then you'll see it flourish. Make we talk the destructive nonsense, where only bring destruction to our people, then would have a big group. However, I love it this way. Again, narrow is the gate or the way where we are choose, because that's will lead to our salvation. While broad is the road where most choose to their own detriment and destruction. This is why it's a free will exercise out there. It's always a free will exercise. No one can impose nothing upon you unless you choose to accept it. Yeah, man. And them not like the fact that we have this kind of clarity and can express it this clearly, this eloquently. God, them a commit crime openly, but them deceive you. God, Joel-Jaguar expressed the fact that a lot of things on that court document was never mentioned to him. That's because them are railroad you. This is their blueprint. In every situation, this is what they do every time. But it go unbeknownst to most. Because you have to really vibrate on a much higher frequency. You can see through these principalities, deceptions out there. A wizardry, yeah man, a high level witchcraft take place inside of them court area. Yeah, them specialize in word wizardry. This is why me also tell Jaguar say, my lord, tell me what go on in the court when I ask him. And him start telling me because through me know me give instruction. And then me say, but king, you never do, and this is where if you don't stop. You know, whatever them are doing have nothing to do with you. You have done what you're supposed to do. But when them have you talking, that's when them get you. You don't comprehend. So what them are try create is proper joinder. You start acting as that defender. You know what I mean? You are the defendant. No, you're not. You can never be. It can only be the piece of paper. So now I'm going to advise anybody when they deal with and I work with me. When you're going into the court, I'm going to give you specific information to attach to your original birth certificate, and I'll tell you how to attach it, why you should attach it that way, and everything else. When me know, I'm going to give you that personally. So when you're going to court, you should have that with you. When I'm calling name, Linton O'Neill Dallas, I'll stand up with that birth certificate and say, Linton O'Neill Dallas is right here. This is he, the legal person. I am that living man, separate and distinct from this person here, this legal person. This is the only legal person you can interact and interface with. Now, when me are going like that on the court are gonna laugh. Everybody are gonna say a madman that, but the judge and the prosecutors going to be very serious with a little smirk. I've experienced these things, people, and now just I talk loosely. I know something will go on right in this area where them call the traffic area where I'm on personally have to totally decimate. This is why I'm now run go to the Supreme Court for never decimate this unconstitutional location. And how am I going to do it? With truth. Just words of truth. And demonstrating that truth. And when them challenge me on this truth, just like it's a Joel-Jaguar stand up, because when them a challenge Joel-Jaguar really, them a test people. You better be cognizant of that. So when them come, look at us. We're ready. Battle tested higher. When I just come out here play, you know, you tell you something, I get in a federal facility in a Louisiana, the immigration. You had a warder there that giving a lot of trouble. And I man write up some paperwork just like how me I do now. I man keep meticulous records. And I man use just the very same paperwork and his own action, his own commission or omission, his action or his inaction. It me use and get him removed from that facility. Listen now, I'm gonna do the research and check to see if I'm just talking, man. I think that place called LaSalle. Yeah, man, immigration facility is a private facility. When I was there, I end up, you know, have a little kind of understanding with the ones them there. Put it that way. Because I may reach a point where them treat me like me there in the federal area where I get 2, 3, and I get specific diets and all of these things only because I know the information. You'd have some long time, 20, 30-year prisoner over the feds time. And when them pass through, them just pass on certain information and documentation to I and say, them thing you on the rights in you, learn it and live it. But a lot of people can't read and write in that place. Believe it or not, some very rich people where yard man them the American them rich like crazy, but they cannot read and write. They write their name from bulla and say if you eat it, you die. They'll eat it and die. Down like rat bat, but rich. Yeah man, like Rod Stewart. I man say give me the knowledge and keep all of the riches. Me just say boy, make the knowledge make me rich. Make me say me have wealth. Alright. Make me say me have a wealth of knowledge where is unrefutable. How about that? Yeah man, we can live with that later. We can capitalize on it, you know. It's like an investment, you know. Not much right now, you know what I mean? Yeah, but you know, yeah. Great investment for the future. That's who we are as a people, only because we are choose to apply ourselves. Anyway, again, we just share this kind of information on this level and say truth supreme, truth sovereign, or advocacy of freedom, and we have said sovereignty. Unapologetically, again, sovereignty. Yeah, man, our sovereign state capacity. Only because, you know, we are self-governed. Yeah, we are self-taught, autodidactic. We say autodidactic, self-taught. Yeah, man. And we have a, you know, you know, call a sovereign creator. We are sovereign God. And we are an extension of such, so that makes us sovereign in our capacity, which corporate entity can, you know, rebut it or deny it. That's why we say we ever get serious and really bring earth to you, and it going to surprise the mess out of you at the carnage what we ever can create. We're not going to be so surprised. Because we're not going to see things like that on the earth before, but we're not going to see worse than that after, you know, it starts. We can only pray, say nothing like that not happen. We kind of find a way and, you know, apply the laws that are in place where helpful and moral, and we just choose to live in peace and harmony. We can do that. That is the ultimate goal. We're not going to do that as slaves. And it's tough when you're free because somebody always try to encroach on your freedom. Somebody always try to interfere with your liberty. And them want to get away with it. I'm saying they all should play with their lives, not just them. Them bloodline forget wipe out, find them children, wipe those people out, find out the loved ones, and watch me. If the neighbors are too friendly, wipe those out too. Clean house. Let righteousness govern this earth. Let truth prevail. It can. But sometimes it's going to take, you know, them kind of energy there. However, we are express knowledge and it look like them must say on a knowledge we are express. We are express truth and it look like them must say on a truth we are express. Well watch you know. Watch we are gonna come next. I'm not gonna say oh we're not gonna say, you know, this is not it. When war start breed you know and decimate you know, I'm gonna say oh we're not gonna say something else. That's where it's gonna come down to. When we can't get justice and we can't get peace and we are already free but people are trying to enslave with, then we have to resist. Oh yeah, we have to resist naturally. Anyway, may the Most High guide and protect the item out there in all the item ways, all the item endeavors. Bliss the item perpetually. Yeah man, may the item find peace and tranquility perpetually. Give thanks and praise. Salute free people. The brave may fall, but never yield. We are bold and brave, firm and strong. Hold them out there, Joel-Jaguar. I hope, you know, there I get some clarity. We're going to chop it up some more and take it from there. Salute Sammy Bowler out there around Europe, honor me king. Salute free people.